10. Jason Brax. Soccer practice is interrupted this afternoon when I get arrested. Well, not really arrested. What happens is two cops show up and pull me off the field so I can give a statement. I think Coach Gifford is ready to make a big stink and stand up for my civil liberties or whatever. But I tell him it's okay and that this kind of thing happens all the time. He gawks at me. Seriously? It's divorce business. Since mom and dad can't stand each other and their lawyers are even worse, a lot of disagreements end up with somebody calling the police. There's never any crime. In fact, I always end up feeling bad for the cops who hate being dragged into it. But they're the ones who have no choice but to respond to every complaint. Today, the problem turns out to be that mom hired a private investigator to make sure dad isn't hiding money from her. Now, the thing is, she's paying the guy out of the special joint bank account they're only allowed to use for expenses that involve me, which is a no-no. And the most ridiculous part is there's no way dad has any secret money stashed away. If he did, why would he be living in a crummy apartment 3 miles outside of town? So, I'm the one who has to explain all that to the police, which is sort of scary when you're a middle school kid. Plus, I'm always nervous that my name is going to get back to Janelle's dad. By the time the cops are done with me, practice is almost over and I've barely worked up a sweat. If this divorce gets me kicked off the team, I'm going to be pretty mad. I'm pretty mad anyway. Half my teammates think I'm a juvenile delinquent. That's how often the cops come looking for me. I suppose I could set the record straight, but my messed up family isn't anybody else's business. My friends all know, and Janelle, of course. There are no secrets in a serious relationship. Well, just one, I guess, the fort. She can't know about that because she might let it slip in front of her dad. Even though I'm not that sweaty, I shower after practice since I'm going to go straight to Janelle's house. I get dressed again, making sure that the box is still in the pocket of my jeans. And there it is, wrapped up with a ribbon that has the logo of a real jewelry store. It's a present for Janelle to make up for how little time we've been spending together lately. I've always wanted to get her something nice. The problem with mom and dad sinking all of our cash into lawyers was no money. That changed when we started selling those fancy cutlery pieces from the fort. I took my share of the soup ladle and got Janelle a silver-plated locket on a chain. It's heart-shaped and really shiny. Plus, I glued in one of our famous goofy selfies. That way, even when we can't be together, like when I'm at the fort with the guys, we'll still be together in the locket. I run all the way to Janelle's house. Sure, I gained back some of the sweatiness I just washed off, but it's totally worth it. She loves the locket and puts it on right away. I'm never taking it off, she promises. My friends call me Romeo as a joke, but that's who I feel like right now. Only, I'm super aware of my phone vibrating in my back pocket. I know it's the guys texting me from the fort. They're watching Raiders of the Lost Ark right now. I hate to miss it, but I owed Janelle this time. For sure it won't look good if I take off right after giving her this great present. You have to make some sacrifices for having a girlfriend. The phone keeps going off the whole time we're together. I'm dying to know what's happening at the fort, but I don't dare check my messages until Janelle excuses herself to go to the bathroom. 29 new texts. I hear Raiders is a good movie, but this is ridiculous. I scroll down, scanning messages at top speed. They never even started the movie. CJ showed up at the fort holding his side and groaning in pain. After school, he fell off his new hoverboard doing one of those crazy daredevil stunts of his, and the guys brought him straight to the emergency room at Kane General. Ricky's afraid he might have broken ribs. CJ's mom and stepdad met him there. They're waiting for the results of the x-rays. Janelle comes up behind me. Hey, I thought our deal was no phones when we're together. Don't laugh. That really is kind of a semi-rule of our relationship. The guys give me such a hard time about it. Sorry, I tell her, but my phone was going crazy, so I had to check it. It turns out CJ's in the hospital. He fell off his hoverboard doing one of his death defiers, and now he might have broken ribs. I'm getting really worked up. She calms me down with a hand on my shoulder. You should go over there, Jason. Yeah, but today's supposed to be our day, and I'm sure all your friends are there. You should be there too, she insists. We'll have plenty of time to hang out together. Now, this isn't the first time that I've been thrilled that Janelle is my girlfriend. She just gets me. While everybody else gives me a hard time about my loud voice, according to her, it's a good thing. She says I talk like I'm making my mark on the world. I love the sound of that. Most importantly, she understands that my friends are a huge part of my life, especially with my parents splitting up. It's funny, she says. I saw CJ at school today, and he looked like something was wrong with him. He was bent over at the water fountain, clutching his side, and when he walked away, he didn't really straighten up. Well, that had to be something different, I tell her. He didn't have the accident until after school. Maybe he just had a stomach ache or something. Like the kind you get from eating 40-year-old ravioli, for instance. Then again, we've all been eating from the stash at the fort and nobody else has had a problem. Weird.